That's a first down.
Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of the Right Athletic Podcast. Just want to thank everybody right off the rip for our patience. Had a couple snags, couple delays going on in our studio. Today we have Barberton Wrestling with us here. They were super welcoming and allowing us to use their media center. So definitely appreciate that. Joining us today, we have Coach Morr, we have Jackson, and we have Gaspar joining us along with Brett Bird. Brett, take it away.
All right, guys. So I think for me, the biggest and one of the most important questions for you guys is, when did wrestling start for you?
I started at the age of 5.
Okay.
For me, I started at 7th grade.
Seventh grade?
Yeah, my brother got into it, so.
How, so you said your brother got into, you started at 5. Is something like your dad got you into?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, when I was younger, I guess I'd always wrestle with my brother and my dad, of course. And then as soon as I got old enough, I just kind of jumped right into it and just kept going since then.
How about you, Gaspar?
Yeah, me and my brother just messing around, just wrestle almost every day, so.
Now, was your brother a wrestler?
Yeah, he wrestled for St. B for,
St. Vincent St. Mary's?
yep,
Okay.
for 4 years, so. Yeah,
Nice.
I was 7th grade and he got into it. So.
What made you stick with it, Jackson?
I would say as soon as I really found out I was good, I just kept going and haven't looked back.
How about you, Gaspar?
The work ethic.
Okay.
And just staying in shape, just really good.
Well,
Jackson, you mentioned that you stuck with it as soon as you found out you were good.
I didn't
What's
really
your record?
all time. I couldn't tell you that, but this year I think I want to say I get like 26-5.
Wow. Good for you.
How about you, Gaspar? What's your record?
I think right now this season I'm 13 and 1.
13-1. Nice. So I did some homework on you guys, and Jackson, I saw that you were runner-up at conference, and I saw that you were a champ at conference. Congratulations to both you guys.
Thanks.
Taking that runner-up, because I saw that the kid you lost to was ranked pretty high in Division I as well, in 215. How does that motivate you to improve once you get to sectionals, districts, and eventually state?
Well, now that I know what to look out for, I'm going to try to change up my game plan a little bit and not get stuck with what I got stuck with.
I got you.
Yeah.
Gaspar, you were a champ. How's that feel?
Feels great, but there's a lot to learn, so just keep
Awesome.
learning every day.
How do you take that success and move forward to improve to sectionals, districts, and state?
Just talk about the stuff with my coaches, what I did right, just work on some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coach, how do you work with these guys on a day-to-day basis to get them prepared for this kind of highlight at the end of the year of going into these tournaments?
Sure. So it's a balance. You know, we're still in team mode right now. We still got a lot of team stuff to work on. Our dual meet record's 11-0 right now. We have 5 more this weekend. We have senior night next week for honor our seniors, and then we have 5 more the following Saturday. So we're still kind of in team mode right now, but it kind of goes hand in hand.
Okay.
Like you want to try to get better every day. Continue to get better at your strengths, but also look at your weaknesses and try to improve. Your cardio, your strength, your game planning, film watching, your diet, your sleep. A lot of things to go into it for a lot of the kids if you want to take it serious, which our program does. So
Awesome.
but the daily grind, we'll call it.
How's the weight management for you guys? Because I know for me growing up, I was losing like 20 pounds from football season to wrestling season. Is that kind of similar, or you guys wrestle around more of your natural weight?
I'm more at my natural weight. He's the cutter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last year I did cut a lot, but this year I don't cut as much as last year, but.
What's
yeah.
the toughest part about cutting?
Ooh, probably water weight.
Water weight?
Yeah,
Okay.
just, day before it's just hard.
Coach, how do you guys help manage that? Because I know the OHSAA has a lot more strict rules
Sure.
on like not just the cutting of the weight, but you know, the days of kids going from, you know, 160 to 119 are pretty much over, and even like to 130, those days are over. How do you guys work with them on that?
So they've implemented a weight loss plan for all kids in the state of Ohio for high school. You know, you got to make sure you're hydrated. It's preseason, and they take your body fat, what you weigh, make sure you're hydrated. They put it into a formula and it spits it out, and it allows you to lose a certain amount of weight per week. Being healthy.
Okay.
So that obviously is a plan for everybody. You know, I'm not really a big believer in weight cutting. I feel like you want to be able to feel good, wrestle strong,
Absolutely.
cutting weight. Now, sometimes, you know, if you have a guy at your weight and you want to take a varsity spot, that might require you to go down. So it might take a little more discipline. But the one thing that we do not promote at all is like they have to eat, they have to drink, they just have to get the extra workouts in,
Okay.
and you know, just clean up their diet, so to speak. You know, like for Gaspar, he was making 106 last year. He was on a very, very strict diet, but he was eating 3 times a day last year, but it was just very clean, small amounts, making sure he's getting the proper water intake, and afterwards, you know, refueling appropriately so he can perform.
Gotcha. So with the Barberton Wrestling program, one key word that kind of sticks out to my mind that you just said a couple minutes ago was discipline. What kind of approach to discipline do you take with this program here?
You know, it all starts with being on time. You know, we start practice at 2:50 every day, but what time do we actually start?
2:49.
So if you're not early, you're late. So
Very
you know, that's just something that I think will carry on with our program in life in general. I try to stick to an hour and a half practice every single day, and I try to make sure that as long as we're starting on time, we're ending on time. But when we're in there, it's all business. Like there's pretty much no downtime at all of our practices. It's
Good.
constantly go go go, and I think we're to a point right now to where if the kids know if they don't want to show up and work hard, they can just go ahead and go home for the day because we don't have time for it. We got to get to work. We're not that good. We have a lot of work to do, so we got to spend the most time in practice
absolutely.
getting better. You know, we do it year round. We weight train year round. We wrestle year round. So I say we take it pretty serious. So I feel like the discipline's there, and I think all the kids, you know, from our youth, middle school, and high school, we're a pretty tight knit group. The coaching staff, we're all very tight. We're all on the same page with everything. So I think it's just one carryover to another. Our youth has been very successful, which transitions to our middle school has been very successful, which transitions to us getting them at the high school, and that's just kind of the program, so to speak.
Gotcha.
So, Coach, you mentioned that you know, obviously being very disciplined, you're going year round. Are you guys multi-sport athletes, or are you guys strictly just wrestling?
I was a multi-sport athlete, but I had a shoulder surgery that I kind of stopped playing football
Okay.
because I didn't want to take the chance of me taking a hit the wrong way and dislocating it.
Sure.
But
Yeah, same for me. I used to play soccer too. I just kind of stopped playing. So
Gotcha.
freshman.
So even though we're strictly wrestling, you know, Coach is talking about discipline. Where does that hit you? Like, how do you guys implement that? You know, in your day-to-day lives. You know, you got friends going out, hanging out, going to the movies, doing whatever you guys are doing, and we got practice. We got watch our diets. We got this going on. What do you guys do to kind of mentally prepare yourself for that type of stuff?
I don't really go out often. Like I'm school, wrestling, and then if I have homework, I'm gonna go home and relax and do my homework. But if I have some downtime, I'll probably just get on the game with my friends.
Cool.
Yeah, same for me. I just kind of stay home. I
There
don't
you go.
really go out.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing bad happens if you stay at home.
Right.
How do you guys, as leaders of this program, kind of instill that discipline, that drive, that focus in some of these younger guys that are, you know, sophomores, freshmen, even some guys that are in the same grade as you, Jackson, as juniors that maybe are just getting into it, or you know that they can be really good. They just got to put that time and effort into it. How do you guys help lead your team?
Just talk to them. Just, you know, teach them the right stuff. Just lead them to where it needs.
they got to learn the basics first. And then once they get there, it's full sail. If they have the right attitude and discipline for the sport, they'll come a long way.
Just to add to that, from what I see, they lead by example. They do not cut corners. They're where they need to be, on time, working hard, being good teammates with their teammates. If people need help doing stuff, they're always there, especially like the newer guys, the younger guys. They're always lending a hand when they could be selfish. Just like, oh, we ain't got to worry about those guys.
Yeah.
But they don't. They really give back to the sport and the program. As a coach, it's really nice to see. But they definitely lead by example. You know, when we're running our sprints and stuff, if you saw them in person, you'd be like, wow, man, those guys work really hard. You know, it's not like they're just trying to be in the back just to get through a practice. They're trying to get better every day.
Well, your guys' records definitely reflect that, which, again, I commend you on that. It's especially Ohio. Ohio is one of the best states for high school wrestling. So having even 10 losses if you're wrestling a 30, 40 match schedule in the year, I mean, that's very, very impressive. And especially for this area, too, with your guys' athletic conference and everything. You guys have a great program in Wadsworth, Brecksville. Highland has really good wrestlers as well.
Yeah.
So it's extremely impressive, and you guys deserve a lot of kudos for that. So as this year progresses for you guys are starting to get down to that nitty-gritty. It's a long season. You know, you practice more than you wrestle. How do you guys stay focused when you're starting to get towards this end of the year and, you know, maybe you are a little bit more tired at practice than you normally are because, you know, if you're doing this year-round and then you add in, now it's Monday through Friday practice, weekend meets, you know, weekday dual meets and stuff like that. What are some of the things that you focus on to not only keep your attention, but to kind of keep that hunger there to be successful?
Kind of just got to keep your eye on the prize. Like, whatever your main goal is, you got to aim for it.
Okay.
You can't, if you relax, you're out.
Yeah, for me, this is my last year, so I'll just give it my all.
Go out with a bang?
Yeah, I only have like a month and a half, so just put my all to it every day, working hard.
So we got a heavier weight and we got a lighter weight. Sometimes the heavier weights, it's kind of more, I don't want to say always just kind of throws and body position and stuff like that, but it's sometimes a little bit slower. What kind of techniques do you really key on in wrestling without giving anything away to your upcoming opponents?
I feel like I'm a very small 215, height-wise at least. So I know I need to listen to more of my coaches when they say this. Stay out of the hand fighting because, again, I'm smaller, but I just try and go in there and bang, I guess, and it's usually a brawl, but if I can get at their ankles, I need to try and do that more.
You like ankle picking?
Low shot, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, me too. Hand fight and just low single is my go-to. So.
Okay. Where do you think you guys could probably improve the most in your overall game of wrestling?
For me, it's probably the go behind, like fake go behind.
Okay.
It's not for me.
More shots. I need
You
to
said
take more shots.
More shots?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you miss every shot you don't take, right?
Yeah.
That and they don't have like a shooting average in wrestling like they do in basketball, so 15% can still be pretty darn successful.
Yeah.
Awesome. So are you guys excited now that the season's kind of coming to an end and you're looking at sectional district state? Like, is this a period where it is kind of getting not tiring, but it's a long season, but on a level of excitement, like this is now where kind of the dance starts. This is where like a loss now means you're not going for first and second. You're going for third and fourth. You're going to be wrestling a lot more matches than what you would have to. Are you guys excited about that? To kind of step up to the plate and hit that home run?
Yeah. I am. I would say I get more excited as I get closer to the state tournament. It's gonna be a grind though.
Well, you had some success at the state tournament last year, correct?
Yeah.
So how do you take that into this year?
Well, I know I'm gonna be all right at sectionals, make sure I got to place top 3 at districts. And once I'm going from there, I got to be on top always, at least with my mindset.
Okay. How about you?
Same goal. Just took first at sectional and try to place top 4 district. And yeah, make it
Very
happen.
good.
Kind of piggyback off of what Brett was asking, getting close to these tournaments, states, sectionals, what kind of mental preparation have you guys taken, individually as a team, whatever, to get where you're at now and to keep going, keep grinding?
So I know this is my last year, so I just kind of like stick with that. Just just giving everything I have. Just talk to my coaches and just trust my coaches what they say to me.
You got it.
I'm normally a pretty calm person, so
I couldn't tell.
yeah, I don't really get upset much. I'm gonna try and follow like what they say, so I just try to stick with the plan.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't really listen to like music or anything. I just head down and stick
Just
with
get
it.
mentally prepared, huh?
Yeah,
How do you guys deal with that nervousness of that match?
I don't really get nervous. I guess
Okay.
like not unless it's like a big like state. Not I wouldn't say state title because I didn't get there last year, but I'm at states and it's go to or blood round.
Yeah.
My nerves are a little high, but I'm gonna stick with it.
So this past season, are there any specific matches, maybe against any specific guys that you'll see in sectionals, districts, and down at state that kind of brought up maybe a little bit of nervousness, or maybe not nervousness, but you kind of have that feeling a little bit of a butterflies in your stomach?
Uh, Probably Suburban League finals match because I was wondering why he went down from heavy, but again, I just went out there and wrestled, gave him my all.
For me, not really. It's exciting.
You just go.
Yeah, just
Well, I tell you what, wrestling is a sport where you are a part of a greater team, but when you go out there on that mat, it's just you and the other person.
Yeah.
Is that something that when you guys started getting into wrestling that kind of interested you too? That while it is a team sport, it's also very much an individual sport too, and it kind of gives you a spotlight in a way to show your talents, your skills, your hard work and dedication?
Yeah, I liked it a lot because when I first started, I was big into football, and then when I realized that wrestling, I didn't have to carry a team, so I was all in.
yeah. You can't blame me losers. If you loses, you can't blame anyone. So it's just you and the person.
Awesome.
Just some of the things that I was wondering, wrestling, there's a lot of, going back to what you said, it's individual, yes, you're on a team, but there's a lot of individual. What are some things individually and that you guys reflect upon that like wrestling has taught you that applies to like outside life, outside of the sport?
I would say mental toughness, because if you're not mentally prepared for life, you're kind of screwed, I guess.
Yeah.
Staying disciplined too.
How's wrestling help you in life though?
Taught me to stay dedicated to my goal, my main goal at least.
How about you?
Patient.
Patient? Okay. So I don't know if you guys know this, but like I said, I did some homework on you guys. Both of you are ranked in the top 10 in Division I for your respective weight classes. Does that mean anything to you? A little bit to you?
Not really at all.
Okay.
I don't really care
Yeah,
about that.
it doesn't really matter. We just go. Just go.
And I think that's a great attitude to have. The one thing that I thought about, and I want you guys to tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right or somewhere in the middle. A lot of these rankings don't mean anything until you actually get out on the mat, which you guys can agree.
Yeah.
But what I think it does is it says something about you two that out of Division I, which is some people may argue some years maybe Division II is the best pound for pound division, maybe somehow Division III is, but Division I historically has always been that toughest division. That's where some of your best wrestlers in the state of Ohio have wrestled, and it's going to continue to be that way for a long time. Does it give you any kind of positive feelings that there's people out there that think you're that good of a wrestler?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't really know the person who makes the ranking, so
I don't either. I don't either.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's probably a composite of probably how they rank some of the wrestlers that you guys have wrestled and stuff like that.
I think they just look at like, head to head or how you
Yeah.
do at tournaments, but, I mean, they're fun. It gives you a gauge on who's
It
out
yes,
there.
it definitely does.
And, they're fun to get, probably, makes the kids and their coaches and families feel, proud, like, hey, we got a guy that's pretty good, but, same time, at the end of the day, like you said, rankings don't really matter when you got to go out there and get the job done. And we've seen many, many kids that were ranked very high, maybe not even make it to the state tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or vice versa. We had a kid a couple years ago that I think was ranked like 39th, right? And he made it out for Barberton, not even supposed to be there, but got hot at the right time,
Yeah.
did what he had to do. He won sectionals. I think he pinned everybody at sectionals, and he had one loss at districts and pinned everybody else at districts and made the Division I state tournament. So, legendary type stuff for Barberton, I mean, so, the rankings are fun, but at the same time, some people, that's all they want to look at. For us, it's nice, but we're looking to try to beat anybody that's in front of us.
Yeah, that next person in front of you.
We're a one match. Our big motto for us is one match at a time. All that matters is what you do next. If you don't get past that guy, what does the next round even matter, right? Like one match at a time.
Awesome.
Coach, going through some stuff, I'm a youth football coach. Brett is involved in the youth football community as well. When we're coaching, I mean, obviously, kind of going into that team aspect, it's pretty easy. I mean, obviously, you take your breaks. I don't want to say it's easy, but you can take your breaks. Hey guys, make sure we're doing this. Execute here. Call out maybe a couple different players. Give a couple tips, tricks, techniques, things like that. What is it like for you to coach wrestling as a team, but also again going back to that individual aspect of it?
I love it. I love Barberton. I love the Barberton kids. Administration, parents are awesome. Kids are awesome across the board. So I just really enjoy it. I feel like I'm from Barberton, so it's special for me to give back.
So you're a graduate of Barberton.
I am, yes.
Awesome.
Yes. So, to coach the team, we have 37 kids on the team, one female as well. And it's fun. I think we had 14 kids that have never wrestled before come out for the team this year. So it was a little bit of a challenge because you're literally starting from scratch, like a youth. You have to teach them. But, we tried something new this year to where early on we would pair the new kids up with the veterans for practice.
Sure.
And we would, call out, whatever technique it was for today. If we're going to show a double leg, if we're going to show a cradle, like whatever it is, we would show it. The coaches would show it, but then we would have the veterans go with the newer kids and actually work with them because the veterans know how to do the move because they know the technique. So now you're establishing a relationship between the new kids and the veterans, and they're staying together, and just kind of builds that camaraderie a little bit, with the team. And like for me, I would say say it's just a cross-face cradle, for example. Like when somebody's showing it, like, hey, the first time Joe hits the cross-face cradle, you're the person that taught him how to do it. So it takes a little ownership. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
you taught him that, and then when you see it, it's pretty cool for the cheering and stuff like that to go on. But as it winds down, like I said, we're still looking at team stuff now. But as it winds down, people got different goals. Some people are out for wrestling just to get better at football. So they're not really looking to be in the varsity lineup, or they're not looking to go. They don't even care about sectionals. They just did it to get in better shape for another sport, which is fine. And then they can get ready for their spring sport. And then we just start narrowing it down. You can really just spend more time, with the kids that are left, and just try to hone in on what they need to do to win that next match to advance as far as we can until the season ends.
Gotcha. Jackson and Gaspar, I guess if you guys could, Coach talked earlier about you guys do this, and we're pretty close knit from the youth all the way up. If there's any advice you guys could give to any youth wrestler out there, what would that be?
Just have fun. Like, I would say it doesn't really matter until you get into middle school because they don't really start taking it. Like, most kids don't really start taking it serious until, like, I would probably say middle school. And if you stick with it all the way through middle school, you're probably going to stick with it through high school. Uh, just have fun in the youth, at least. In middle school, start cracking down. Pay attention to coaches. Listen to their directions.
So listen to coaches and just try to have fun with it. Not worry about the weight class or anything. Just have fun with it. Just work hard.
Stick with it too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's tough. Wrestling's a tough sport. I mean, it's my humble opinion. It is the toughest sport.
The one thing we talk about a lot, I got it from the previous coach here that was like my mentor for 20 years, Coach Mariola. And it's a fact, but like when you're training under the way we provide training, they're going to get into the best shape of their life to this point. They're going to be in shape. They're going to be strong. They're going to be in shape. So who doesn't want to be in the best shape of their life? You know,
Right.
just keep working, trust the process, and, just enjoy it and go with it. So let's see how far it can go.
Awesome. Do you guys ever get any opportunities to interact with some of the kids that are in the youth program?
Yeah, I would say probably me more than him because that guy right there, my father, he's a youth coach. So
Oh,
sometimes I do come up and
Okay.
maybe I'll show a move, or if I have to cut some weight, I'll be in there working extra.
Yeah.
But I see them around most of the time. And middle schoolers come up for lifting, so yeah, we see them pretty much like, I see them all the time. It's my life right here. It's
Well, I
wrestling.
can tell you this, as a dad of a kid of a boy that's in second grade, I cannot tell you how great it is to see the high school guys, even the junior high guys, interact with kids that are participating in the youth programs. My son specifically, he wanted to be this year. He wanted to be the exact replica of Gavin Madigan for the Wadsworth football team. So seeing that and seeing how much more it makes him like that sport, it's really, really awesome to see, because he wants to be like him, but then he also wants to be better than him. But then I'm seeing him enjoy football or enjoy any other sports he's doing. And one of the main reasons that's happening is because these high school guys are taking that time that they don't necessarily have to take and spend it with these younger kids to kind of like show that love and that appreciation, but also to show the love for the sport that is growing with these younger kids. I mean, I can tell you for myself too, I used to be in shock and awe when the high school guys would come down during our wrestling, junior high track, junior high football, junior high basketball, stuff like that. Just seeing those guys, because you go watch them on Friday, or you go watch them at dual meets, or you go watch them at an invite on a Saturday for a track meet and stuff like that, and to have them just even talk to you, be like, hey man, that long jump was great. It really means a lot to the kids. That's awesome that you have the opportunity to do that and do that. How important is that to you, Coach, with kind of getting your varsity, your high school guys intermingling with the youth to kind of build on that? Because obviously that's kind of your feeder farm for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the road.
Sure. So it is very important. We have 100 kids in our youth. There's a lot of kids.
It's a lot.
And we've
That's a
got
good number, too.
Family members, alumni who are now starting to have kids. They're in the program. So just being around, like if there's an event here and we have practice, I try to make sure everyone after practice will cut out 5 or 10 minutes early. Hey, go down and check out the youth kids. Go say hi to them. Just make an appearance just to see them. The high school kids like that. They like going down and checking them out and stuff. And
Awesome.
some of the kids on the team have younger brothers and sisters that wrestle in our youth program or middle school. So they're constantly going to the matches on Sundays, or if we're off or something on Saturday, they're going to their tournaments. So like I said, it's a pretty tight-knit group. We have unbelievable parents, awesome parents across the board. Very, very proud to say that. It's awesome.
Coach, you mentioned a couple of times, You guys have a female on your team. You know, you mentioned a couple boys and girls in the youth program. Are you starting to see that as time goes on evolve more, that more women,
With
more
female?
females are getting involved into wrestling?
Yeah, so our head youth wrestling coach, Brandon Kramer, he's been around forever. He's amazing. Doesn't have any kids in the program. Just an awesome coach. But he sees our youth program with 100 kids in it. As you said, girls is starting to get pretty popular. So we've had quite a few girls in our youth over the last few years, and it keeps starting to grow. And we knew last year, those sixth grade girls, there was going to be a big group of them coming up through. So we knew that there was the potential to have enough girls to have an actual middle school girls team.
Awesome.
Okay. So as that started developing in the summer, going into school, it started growing and growing and growing and growing. And we've had a great year for our girls middle school wrestling team, which assembled. Okay. So we have 13 girls on the middle school team. They're all the coaches are volunteer, which we have five volunteer coaches, and I want to say they've probably been to four or five tournaments now this year, and they've won the tournament every tournament they've won to besides the last one they took second. So it's a first year, right? And I know a couple of them that they went to. It was like on a Sunday, so like half the gym was like middle school girls wrestling, and the other half of the gym was high school girls wrestling, and they combined the points for the girls middle school and high school. And our high school girl was not part of that.
Yeah.
And so our middle school alone outscored all the other teams with their middle school and high school combined, scored enough points to win. So to answer the question, it's on the rise. It's definitely a question that conversation I'm going to have with some people moving forward here, what that's going to look like at the high school level, like literally starting next year, because it's growing like crazy. And not only is it growing and like girls are interested, they're actually like really good. Like they're good.
They're scrappy.
And I think what I was told a couple days ago. So like for junior high girls state tournament, I think every one of those girls has signed up to try to to participate in that.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good indicator how they stack up with other girls across the state of Ohio.
Absolutely.
We talk about Division 1, 2, 3 for high school. Well, at the middle school level for boys and girls, there's just one division.
Oh, really?
So it's just if you can win it, if you
Yeah.
can win a junior high state title, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I know people say, "Oh, it's just middle school," but that's pretty impressive
That's
because it's everyone
Yeah.
in
it's
one.
every
You
public
know what I mean?
private school combined in
Yeah.
one
So
tournament.
for the OACs is what it's called. So I'm excited to see how the girls are going to do. So yes, the girls program is on the rise. It's growing like crazy, and we're excited about it.
Cool. Good deal.
There's a girls' youth team too.
Yes, and we have a girls youth team as well.
Okay.
Talk a little bit about that. I think it started, was it last year? I think it was. We had enough youth girls. So the Ohio Wrestling, OYW, Ohio Youth Wrestling Association League. It's teams. They wrestle dual meets on Sundays. We had enough girls to actually form an entire girls team and enter them against all boy teams every Sunday. So the wrestle dual meets every. So there's that many in the youth. That's how we knew it was coming.
Wow.
And now it's starting to filter into our middle school. So.
Well, going into you guys real quick, we just got a couple more questions. We'll start wrapping up. Jackson, talk to us, kind of these next steps. After high school, obviously we're looking at college. Are you looking to wrestle into college? What are you looking to do after high school?
I would say wrestling is my meal ticket into college. Like, if I don't get a good enough offer for college, I'll probably still end up wrestling in college. But I would like to major in mechanical engineering.
Okay.
So
It's a good thing to major in.
Do you have any colleges that you're looking at right now that are, hey, pick me, come grab me, keep watching me. I got one more year.
yeah, I was talking quite a bit with George Mason University in Virginia.
Okay.
Man, I've gotten some emails from a couple teams in Iowa, but it's a little far for a visit, so I don't know.
Hey, we can visit to Iowa.
What are some of the things that you don't have to go into great detail, but what are some of the things that they're looking at from a student athlete to bring you on to their not only their school but their program as well?
I would say grades. Grades are a very important thing if you are planning to play sports in college. Yeah, uh, and I would say you need to be a pretty decent athlete for that sport. Uh, but I know I've got great grades, so I don't really need to worry about that.
I was
So
just gonna say, stud on and off the field. I mean, you're at a 3.4 GPA.
yeah,
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Gaspar, what about you as far as colleges go? What are we doing after?
After high school, I'm planning to work. I don't think I'm going to college.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it in trade school, electrician.
Perfect.
So
Good deal.
What if somebody comes knocking on your door though? They say, "Hey, you're a great wrestler. We'd love for you to join our program.
it might
Would
take
you give it a
look.
shot?"
I don't know. I think I'm sticking with the electrician trade school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Nothing
Good
wrong
deal.
with that, man.
You're
Nothing
also
wrong
a
with that.
stud too on and off the mat. I mean, you're sitting at a 3.0 GPA, right?
Yep.
So there you go. I mean, you definitely got some attraction coming to you that schools would. They like the record. They like the smarts.
yeah.
Let's do it.
What they would be getting to is like two great kids.
Oh yeah.
Someone you could trust, trust them, keys to your car, so to speak, you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
they, they've got a great parental upbringing. They work hard. They're good in the classroom. They're good wrestlers. They're good teammates. And I think they have like tremendous upside too. So, like a lot of kids, like maybe they hit their peak like in high school, right? Like both these guys have more to give, So if a college would get them, I think they'd be tremendously happy and be able to see the growth at the college level as well.
Sure. Jackson, you mentioned earlier. I mean, you don't really get nervous, right? So, right before a match, what do you do to get hyped? What's your pregame ritual look like? Pre-match ritual, music, anything?
no music. I'm kind of a weirdo, I guess. I
Nothing
just
wrong with that.
yeah, I just like I stretch out and then I get warmed up, like another warm up basically, and get ready and get after it.
You got it. Gaspar, what about you?
I don't really listen to songs too. I just go out there and just hit the mat.
You
Kind of
got it.
relax and get to it.
Yeah, just relax. Just stealth, like what the people say. It's just kind of loud in there. So just.
I got one for Jackson. We tease him all the time about it. So last year at the state tournament, we're down there and he's in his blood round match. He's got to win. So we're trying to stay off our feet and everything. Get to the arena a little bit early, just have him relax and stuff. And we're getting near time. Like, okay,
Yeah.
let's get moving here, get some stuff going. Where's Jackson? He's back there relaxing in the bullpen where he told him to relax. I'm like, okay, go back, and he's on his phone. So like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Watching a movie. I'm thinking he's watching Rocky 4,
Yeah.
300, something. And
Something that's gonna.
he's
get him
like, oh,
pumped
I'm
up.
watching Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
There you go.
And I'm like, really? Like, what? Like, are you serious right now? And then, he won his match. I go,
Yeah.
you can get all the Pirates of the Caribbean
Watch
you want,
all of
bud.
them
Watch
that you
all you
want.
want if
There
they're
you
sequels.
go.
Like, so we're good. So, yeah, but
That's hilarious.
yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like watching Bluey or
Yeah.
something like that in the background.
How was that experience being in those blood rounds last year down at States? Because it's tough. It's grueling.
Yeah. I don't remember who I wrestled exactly, but Dakota
Yeah.
East was that the
Yeah.
tall one? That match was.
He was just coming off an overtime loss in the quarterfinals too.
Yeah.
The kid. Okay.
He had just lost where we thought he had a legitimate chance to win that match to be in the state semis.
Yeah.
And he lost in overtime. So, could reflect on him, but
Yeah.
he stayed, calm, didn't let the nerves get to
Kept
him, and
his
just
composure.
stayed focused.
I would
And,
say that match was an easier blood round match than I've had in the past. That guy, all he wanted to do was just upper body throws. So, like, if I did get jacked up, I just kind of stayed close and tripped him over. But
Okay.
yeah, I'd say that was probably one of the easiest blood round matches I've had.
What's been your guys' toughest match this year? If you had to kind of pick one out, even if necessarily you lost or you won, even if you won by 4 or 5 points. So just what was the physically toughest, the most mentally draining match you had this year?
I would probably say like the most physically draining match I've had all year was probably my first round at Ironman. Yeah.
How was that experience? I mean, that's pound for pound, probably the toughest tournament in the nation for high schoolers.
Yeah, he wrestled in it this year. He's the first Barberton wrestler ever to be able to wrestle in the Ironman.
Congratulations.
You have to
That's an
Thank
honor.
you.
petition. You have to
Yeah,
like
yep.
write stuff in to
Absolutely.
get them in, and then they have to I don't know if it's a committee or however they do it. They accept you or they don't. Been trying to get kids in the last few years, but no luck. But they did accept Jackson this year, so we're real proud of him for that.
But yeah, that guy was very fast for
Where
215.
from Ohio, outside of Ohio?
I think he was Illinois.
Illinois?
Indiana,
Indiana.
I believe.
Yeah.
Indiana.
One
How
of those
about you,
two.
Gaspar? Toughest match of the year?
I haven't had some tough matches.
Haven't had one?
Nah, not really.
Yeah, this guy just outpowers everyone at 113. He's very strong for a lightweight.
Who's the guy to beat for you this year then? Who's got that target on their back that you got? If you want to go down a state and you want to do what you want to do, who is that guy?
Does anybody
There's a
know
lot.
higher said I beat him?
Anybody in front of you? Good answer.
Exactly.
Jackson, how about you?
I would say probably the guy I lost to at last year would be Peterson or probably Brecksville guy. Those are main two I'm looking at.
Okay.
We've got a lot to look at.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's funny too because we never really watched videotape when I was younger in high school of wrestling. I'm sure some did, but it's become much more of a thing. You get a much better frame of reference of where you're at, where your opponents are at, especially people that you are going to see down the road. But it definitely gives you a good frame of reference of seeing yourself from that coaching angle to be in a better mindset of like maybe next time I keep a little bit of a better positioning here instead of maybe giving up some leverage in this position and stuff like that. You guys enjoy watching film of you wrestle?
Yes and no. I would say yes. I learn more about what I need to do, and no, sometimes I get upset. Like, not really. I wouldn't you wouldn't really see it on my face, but I'm just like, why'd I do that?
Yeah, I like to go over it just to see what I did wrong.
What does after tournaments, matches, there's that recovery time. You guys are putting your bodies through a beating. You got practice, in a day or two after that. What does recovery look like for you guys?
Stay tuned to the ice baths.
Yeah, I used to do ice bath.
When we get closer to the postseason, we'll have ice baths after practice to recover.
Yeah.
We have massage guns. We have foam rollers. Obviously ice bags, whatever we need to do. Making sure we have good warm ups and stretches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get the lactic acid out.
Very important.
As we get closer to postseason, things start getting a little more intense in terms for those types of
absolutely.
things.
I would
Well, you
say
got-
after a tournament though, mostly just sleep.
Yeah, getting recovery with sleep.
So when you guys are at these tournaments, how important is for you guys to get in, put your work in, and then get out and relax until that next match?
I would say it's very important because I don't know about him, but my calves will start to burn if it's a very long match.
Yeah.
And I'm on my feet all day pretty much, but after a match, I'll sit down and watch videos to try and stay awake. I get tired.
Are you guys eaters at all after matches? You guys?
Before
Before?
matches, yeah. Just
Not particularly, but
yeah.
I more drink water, I guess.
Well, I only have one last question.
Good deal.
Okay.
Shoot.
Coach, how proud are you? How proud are you of these guys?
It's been pretty cool so far. I feel like we're not done yet. We still got unfinished business to take care of. But to answer your question, very proud. Honestly, very proud.
There you go. Well, guys, that is another episode of the Right Athletic Podcast. Thank you very much, Gaspar, Jackson, and Coach, for joining us today. Thank you, Barberton, for opening up your media room. And go Magics.
Yeah,
Thank
go
you, guys.
Magic.
Yep.